Hello everyone, welcome to Compose Camp Session 1. We are so excited to have you here starting your journey to becoming an Android developer. So in Compose Camp, you will learn how to build Android apps using Jetpack Compose, Android's modern UI toolkit. Compose Camp is for everyone from absolute beginner to experienced developers. Through Compose Camp, you will learn the latest Android development tools, connect with other developers so that you can learn from each other and grow your network. Apply your new skills by creating apps that you can add to your personal portfolio of apps. At the end of each session, we will share the attendance link in which you have to fill the correct details every day. Then only you will be able to get the certificate of Compose Camp. Here are some of the prerequisites that will be helpful. Having basic computer literacy and basic math skill is recommended. You will also need a computer and access to the internet to take the online course. Let's talk about what you will learn as part of the series of Compose Camp events. First and foremost, the goal is for you to build your first Android apps with Jetpack Compose. To do this, you will learn the Kotlin programming language and install Android Studio on your computer, which is an application to build Android apps. At the end, we will also talk about resources on how you can continue learning and building apps. Before we dive into the content, I want to get to know you better. And what brought you here? Please write answer of these questions in chat. The first one, why are you here? The second, what are your goals? And the third, how do you plan to achieve them? Till then, let's look at the schedule for this session. First, we have a short presentation covering some logistic and a high-level introduction to the concept to help you with the hands-on portion of the upcoming sessions. Once I'm done talking, you'll be able to dive into the course. You'll be working independently in the first pathway of the course. You can work through the pathway at your own pace and let me know if you have questions. At the end of the session, I will bring everyone together and we can recap what we learned today and celebrate your progress. We will be learning through the Android Basics with Compose course. This is an online training course developed by Google for people who want to learn how to build basic Android apps. The course is made up of units, and units are composed of pathways. Today we will be focused on the first unit, which is shown here. It is made up of three pathways. In this session, we will work on pathway 1. You may be wondering, what is the pathway? A pathway is an ordered sequence of activities to learn a specific skill. An activity can be a video, hands-on coding tutorial, known as code lab, an article or quiz. There are 7 activities in the first pathway. All these activities are meant to help you reach specific learning objectives. By the end of this pathway, if you are already familiar with the skills that the pathway teaches, you can skip that pathway and move on to the next one. There's a quiz at the end of each pathway to check your understanding of what you just learned. Here's what a sample quiz looks like. There is no limit to the number of retries for a quiz, but if you get a question wrong, try to understand what the concept is, even if you need to look back at the source material before answering again. After you pass a quiz, you will earn a badge like this. The badge you earn can be saved to your Google Developers profile. When you are taking the course, be sure to sign in the top right corner and create a developer's profile if you haven't already. It's very quick to create. As you earn more badges, you can see them on your Google Developers profile and favorite them. You can make your profile public so you can share it and show off your badge to friends and colleagues via social media. Now that you are familiar with the learning platform and how the course look like, let's dive into some important concepts that you will be learning. In this course, you will be learning how to create Android apps using Kotlin. Kotlin is a programming language which is recommended by Google for creating Android apps. Kotlin is a modern and popular programming language known for helping developers be more productive and more concise when writing code. As a result of many great language features, Kotlin has quickly gained momentum in industry and is used over 50% of professional Android developers. Pathway 1 of unit is focused on helping you understand the basic of Kotlin. To make it easier for you to learn, we'll be writing your code in the Kotlin playground, which you can access via the web browser. The site looks like something like this. You can write your code in this window and run it by hitting the green run button. The result of the code, known as output, will shown up at the bottom of the window where it says hello world. We'll show you a few important concepts that you'll learn in this pathway. We'll go through a short code demo, creative programming Kotlin. In Kotlin Playground, you will learn to explore and modify simple programs in Kotlin. You can think of a program as a series of instructions for a computer or mobile device to perform some action. In this program, the action is printing hello world. The step-by instruction for the computer, uh, the step-by-step instruction for what the computer should do is for code. When you modify the code in program, the output can change. A Kotlin program is required to have a main function, which is the entry point or starting point of the program. You may be asking what a function is. A function is a segment of a program that performs a specific task. You can have many functions in a program or only a single. Creating separate functions for specific tasks has a number of benefits. Reusable code. Rather than copying and pasting code that you need to use more than once, you can simply call a function whenever needed. Readability. Ensuring function to one and only one specific task helps other developers and teammates, as well as your future self, to know exactly what a piece of code does. We will demonstrate how to define a function with a function called display introduction that we will use to print our name and age. A function definition starts with a fun keyword. A keyword is a reserved word that has a special meaning in Kotlin. In this case, the fun keyword tells Kotlin that you are going to make a function. Functions need to have a descriptive name so that they can be called from other part of the program. Function means a set of parentheses which you can use to optionally pass information into the function. Display introduction won't need any information parsing. You will learn more about passing in inputs in the function later in the course. Functions need curly braces that contains the introduction, instructions needed to execute a task. The task of the display introduction function is to print your age and name. In order to do that, you will save both your name and age into variables. In computer programming, a variable is a container for a single piece of data. You can envision it as a box that contains a value. The box has a label, which is the name of the variable. By referring to the box by its name, you can have the access to the value it holds. You may be thinking, why store your name and age in variables when you can use them directly? The problem is that when you code use value directly in all the instructions, your program will only work for that specific case. In this example, there are boxes in the sentence that contains values for both name and age. If you change the value of the variables and the output will change. In the first example, the value of the name variable is Megan and the value of age variable is 20. The corresponding output prints, my name is Megan and I am 28 years old. In the second example, the value of name variable is Janet and the value of age variable is 49. The corresponding output prints, my name is Janet and I am 49 years old. When you decide what aspect of your app can be variables, it's important to specify what types of data can be stored in those variables. In Kotlin, there are some common basic data types. This table shows the different data types in each row. For each data type, there is a description of what kind of data it can hold and example values. A string holds text and you will use it to store your name, and an int hold an integer, you will use it to store your age. Now let's jump into how you define a variable. You can declare a variable using either val or val. With val, the variable is read only, which means you can only read or access the value of the variable. Once the value is set, you cannot edit or modify its value. With var, the variable is mutable, which means the value can be changed or modified. The value can be muted. In Kotlin, it's preferred to use val over var when possible. We will store your name as a val because that will not change. We'll store your age as a val because it changes every year. Like to demonstrate how to define a variable, we will define both name and age variables. Before you use variable, you must declare it. To declare a variable, start with the val or val keyword. All variables must be have a name that they can be referred by. The data type specify the type of data that the variables hold. Note that the columns separate the name and data type. In the variable declaration, the equal sign follows the data type. The equal sign symbol is called the assignment operator. The assignment operator assigns a value to the variable. The variable's initial value is the data stored in the variable. Let's finish. Let's finish putting the display introduction function together. We have our variables, but they don't do anything yet. Let's add a print statement to the print out your introduction using println and print to the output in the Kotlin playground. In order to print your variables, you will use a string templates which allow you to include variable reference in a string by using the dollar sign before the variable name. You can learn more about string template by the given link in the chat. Firstly, we will replace the content of the main function with the call of the display introduction function. When we run it, when we run it, it will give the output like, "Hi, I'm Megan and I am 28 years old." In this lecture, we went over functions and variables and how to put them together to create a function that introduce you. Soon we will go deeper into the concept and try to find out like yourself in the code lab. We are rolling out today's attendance sheet. It will be active for an half an hour. Don't forget to fill the set. Okay, that's it. In a moment, I will let you get started on the course. Work at your own pace. If you get stuck, you can ask me. We are here to answer whatever question you have. Also, feel free to ask each other for help and work together to find solutions. You can open the course page via the given link. You can find it in the chat box. Yeah, after opening the link, you will see this kind of page. Then click on Unit 1 to start the Android basic course. Feel free to get started working on Pathway 1 independently and don't hesitate to ask if you have questions. Let me know in the chat if you are able to open that page and find Pathway 1. In the next session, we will apply your new Kotlin knowledge to build your first Android app. You can post photos or highlights from today's session on social media using hashtag Compose Camp, hashtag GDSCVITB. And also you can submit any tips if you have about learning Compose for a chance to be a feature like in Android Summit. If you want to continue learning more on your own, here are some resources. And we are excited to see you at the next Compose Camp session. Before the next session, it is strongly recommended that you download Android Studio. You can check out our Android Studio tool via the link in the chat. In the meantime, you can check out these additional resources which professional developers use to stay up to date on Android. As you get into more advanced features, you will likely need to learn more programming on site. You can check out the Learn Kotlin by example or the Kotlin language website resources for that. Thank you so much for being a part of Compose Camp. Good luck on the beginning of your Android developer journey. Till the next Compose Camp, work on Unit 1, Pathway 1, and if you have any question, ask it. Sasank has asked, will we get the PPT or PDF? I guess no, you will not get any PPT or PDF of this session, but you can like rewatch this whole session again. Yeah, so I guess no one have any question. So till then, till the next session, you can go and work on Unit 1, Pathway 1. That will be really helpful for your Android development. And in the beginning of next session, like I will again open up for the questions. You can ask question at that time also. So all the best, everyone. Thank you.